Whoop, whoop. It worked. Once I get this confirmation that we're on, there we are. I will put on Do Not Disturb. There's the email. Let's go back to TrendSpider. Wah, 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 wah. Instagram, daily YouTube. Put up shorts. Core portfolio. We're going to update this. Let's update this mofo. Morning, Joe. Morning, Scott. Savvy Trader Core in June. Bob. Okay. Okay, American Express. We're just going to go here and look at news. Because I don't think there's any trending news that I've missed. Oof, that's a nice one. I mean, Snowflake I took out of the core portfolio, but I'm telling you, the reason I'm taking stuff out of the core portfolio is because they're more trades than they are investments. But I still own Snow long. So, here, well, you know what? We'll do this. We're going to put, let's, okay, and I'm going to take this, and we're going to take this and put it down here. Okay, I have Oxy earnings. I need to look up Devon earnings. Devon, I mean, God. Raises fixed plus variable dividend by 57%. That's big. Devon raised dividend by 57%. From 49 cents to 77 cents. Okay. Earnings were okay. Nothing exciting. And Oxy had BlackRock to invest $500 million in joint venture with Occidental Petroleum. Let's see what Oxy. Nothing crazy, but let's see. Oh, I gotta go back to Seeking Alpha. I want to look at the news. News. Oh, my watch just went off. Wall Street's top 10 growth stocks according to SA Quant. Ooh. Ooh, this is big. That's a great article. Oof, I'm gonna include this one. Right after. Let's get copy. Okay. Morning, Ada. Good morning. Let's see. We're going to go all in on that. I have an alert. I don't know what. I won't look at it here. Okay. Let's run the 4-hour algo and TrendSpider. By the way, big news. TrendSpider now has ChatGPT. So, morning, John. This is big news. Death cross. RSI, less than 50. So you can just put that in and it writes it. Visual scripting with ChatGPT. This is amazing. I need to play that one. I'll play that one on. We're going to move this up because I think this is big news. And with the special that's going on, okay. I think I've got enough to kind of go through everything. Look at this. I mean, just Alta up 2%. But that's, I mean, shit. That's so far down. Look at where Alta is in the 52-week range. These sliders are great, by the way, in seeking alpha. And I just love having this portfolio built. I mean, this is, news. I don't know if I'm allowed to say this. There is a Black Friday sale coming up on Seeking Alpha. Just say it's an additional, over 10% off. I think it's next Friday. Hold on, let me see. I'm going to pull up my calendar because I put it on the calendar to change it. No. 21st. So if you're on the fence about Seeking Alpha, wait until the 21st. But I'm only saying that on the live, not on the recorded one. Okay, let's look at the core portfolio. Here's the core portfolio. And if you want to know core portfolio, look, Disney's down at the bottom. Devon's down at the bottom. Goldman Sachs kind of at the bottom. Coke down at the bottom. Oxy down at the bottom. Pepsi down at the bottom. The rest, XOM down at the bottom. I mean, it's clear what in the core portfolio it is. Look at Boeing. Boeing crossed 200. Boeing's at 200, by the way. So, solid stuff. And the health score is only 3.71. But that's really good. Because if you look at the health score of the core portfolio, your portfolio is in the top 29% of all portfolios. I mean, this is 37 stocks. It's not hard to again, if you want to beat the S&P, I think the core portfolio does it. In fact, look, I mean, this is the core portfolio since I bought it at the highs back in June. And I'll go over this in the podcast. But 1 day, 1 week, 3 month, I'm up 0.94%. It's a $671,000 portfolio. Understand, it's a $671, but it's equal weight based on just buying, 100 shares of each. So, okay, hold on. Your boy had coffee. Okay. Morning. You know, I have heard about IBM's quantum chip. IONQ, I invested in it. IONQ is quantum computing too. Here, you want to see Here's my proof I invested in IONQ. Go over here, and we will go to here, daily stock pick. I've got 2 portfolios, trading and core portfolio. Here's my trading portfolio, ADA, and it's on Savvy Trader. You can sign up for Savvy Trader. Oh, come on. What? It's more than one position. What the hell's going on with Savvy Trader? 16. Oh, I'm not signed in. That's why. It seems to have signed me out. Okay, so here's the trading portfolio. And IONQ, right down here. Let's go to history. I bought it at $11.03 on November 2nd. So IONQ, let's look at IONQ. And I didn't, the reason I bought it was I thought it was going to bounce, but the $10.92, that was November 2nd. And I said, you know what? I'm just going to buy it. It's at $11.47, kind of putting in its capitulation here. Remember, the CEO just left or announced that he's leaving. Their earnings are November 8th. So it's after report today. I should put this in. You know what? I'm going to say this. Disney earnings on Wednesday, headlined by Disney. IONQ earnings as well. But understand, IONQ is not making money. So IONQ is not something that you back the Brinks truck up to. Here's what it is. They're losing $113 million. They have cash on hand of $1.85. They have per share, okay? They have 199 million shares. What's $1.85 times 199?
The answer is $368.
They have $368 million of cash on hand, okay? That means they have a pretty good runway of cash. You can see August 11th, they moved it to $21, Craig Hallam. I don't know that it's getting to $21 and take these others with kind of, the $7 Morgan Stanley. I think that's probably correct. The other two don't even listen to the $28 and the $9. Don't listen to that. It's quantum computing, so I think it's good. I'll go over it again, but I did buy it. I tend to think that it was a fairly decent. It was small. What did I buy? 5 shares, $50. So, but I did buy it. I got into the IONQ world. I'm up 4% on it. Shopify, I'm up 8% on Shopify. TQQQ, I'm up 15%. On that Palantir, I'm up 30%. Meta, I'm up 6%. DraftKings, 25%. So this is the trading portfolio. Uber, I'm up 5%. This one got to 50. Let's put in Boeing at 200. Uber, 50. What else did I say? Amazon, 140. Okay. Here's the problem with IBM, Jeffrey. And I don't have a problem. I heard about their new chip. I think it's a solid company. And I think you'll make, you'll kind of hang out in the same realm. Look at this. This is from, after COVID. If I'm putting a channel in here, say we got to, by June, we were kind of in the same thing. You hit 3, so you're right there, 124. You hit 3 on the top, and you're close to the top. So my problem with IBM is you're probably within this range. So I'm slightly concerned. I don't think that you have significant room to grow with IBM versus something like Apple. If we, Apple has just, it's been like a 10, 15% run here just in the short term. And IBM has been similar. I mean, all tech has been similar. But if we go for a weekly on Apple, and you look at Apple, so say we do the same channel from May. Let's just say, by June. June of 2020, we were out. So you hit 3 under there. It takes you about there. And then you hit 3 over. And that's the channel that we see in Apple. You can see we are so much lower on Apple within the channel world. And the grade 8, I can continue to do that. We're just down. And so I think with IBM, you got a constant kind of thing, but I don't see the growth in it. And that's my problem with IBM. What's RGTI? Rigetti. That reminds me of spaghetti. Oh, this has been a nice roller coaster. This is on the 4-hour algorithm. Let's see. Yeah, oh, that's nice. This is a great one to trade. Now, here's the thing, Jeffrey. If you traded this on my algorithm, you'd lose 52%. If you just bought and held this one, you'd lose 90%. So I think my algorithm helps you. You can see just here, October 5th, buying it at 125, and then you had an 8% gain that you got out of. The algorithm doesn't time the bottom and the top. It definitely misses it. This one at $1.16, it's at $1.05. Yeah, you're fine. I'd trade this one rather than own it. Palantir, I think it's $20 stock. I like it here at 1886. It hit 19 yesterday, like TrendSpider had said. I posted that in the newsletter yesterday. It's RSI's up at 68. It's coming off an RSI of 74 from yesterday morning after its earnings. So, it's got confirmation. ADA, that's a completely, I try and tell you guys or tell the audience where I think a stock will go. It doesn't mean that you automatically sell it when it gets to 20. I need to go over confirmation, and I'm working on you guys will laugh. So I was playing around with AI, and I figured out how to do Pixar animation with stuff. And so I'm going to do a confirmation video of me as a Pixar character on YouTube. And I think that's a fun way to kind of teach you about confirmation. All confirmation is understanding, pick your poison, pick whichever moving average you want. Is it trading over that moving average? So, in fact, let's see. I saw this. There was a tweet yesterday that I think Mona, one of the traders, sent out. I love Becky. She's so fun. Best recession ever. I love that. Look at this snake from Australia. That was crazy. My Twitter. This is right here. Mona, why are you entering a trade if you don't see a setup? If you don't see a setup, part of the setup is confirmation over a moving average. So I think this is key importance right here. In fact, I'm going to highlight this. We're going to put this at the end here. And I'm going to copy this. Copy link. And we're going to put, morning, Zephin. Long time no see. I was thinking about you yesterday. I'm like, Zephin hasn't been on in a while. But it's like, what, 5 in the morning? 6 in the morning over there for you? So I understand why. But Palantir, yeah, I like Palantir. I think it could go above 20. From a long-term perspective, you're not even close to the highs there at 25. Now, this was when, rates were still at 0 in October 2021. As rates went up, this one started shooting down, but they've had 2 quarters of positive cash flow. So I think this one's a solid one. By the way, if you haven't already, hit the thumbs up button and make sure you're subscribed. I am going to get started on this this podcast. I didn't copy that for 15. Oh, I don't care about it. Jerome Powell is scheduled to speak for 15 minutes before the opening bell. Right now it's Jim Cramer, and we think he's a douche. Let's see. QQQ. Zephin. Yeah. So here's my opinion on Amazon. And it's hard. I don't know if you've read the newsletter or heard recent podcasts. I bought $20K worth of Amazon right before earnings. I think it was right before earnings at about $120. But I have a different view of Amazon. And I think it was part of a paid newsletter as I said it. And my view on Amazon was the reason I got into it. So I bought back in 2018. That was my last big chunk of Amazon. Now I have a bunch of Amazon from 2010, 2008, somewhere. But the last time I bought Amazon was 2018 at $80. I think my average price is somewhere near $40 or $50. So it's been a while, and I've added to my position sparingly, 1-2 shares, nothing huge. But the $20,000 that I bought at $120 right before earnings was because I thought Amazon was a $140 stock. And I pointed out here when I bought it, I said, if we get up to $140, you got a nice 15, 16% gain in my mind. And I saw this one back here in September where we hit 140. Now the question is, 140 was my, hey, that's where I want to set up a new kind of floor. So I will probably sell my, this is it, see, 140, 200-day resistance is at 134. So I think you're in that range right now. If you hold over 140 for the next week, then I think you're fine and you've got new confirmation. If that was my only position in Amazon, there's no way I would get out. There's no way I would get out. Your highs back here in November 2021 are 175. This is a stronger company today than it was in 2021. The FTC investigation means nothing. Nothing. They have AI. They're firing on all cylinders. They had a cost problem. They got rid of that cost problem. Now they have income with fewer costs. So I have no doubt in my mind this one's getting back to its all-time highs. Getting out now, maybe trim if you want to. I do think that you wait for that. The RSI right now is at 64, so it's a little oversold. But the MACD is kind of going on a secondary cross-up. You could get back to this one where you have this cross-up here at 16 on the MACD. If you get to that, see where it was August 2020 at 169. It kind of pulled back, but the stock just kind of sat there. So while the MACD was pulling back, the stock just sat in a range. Then when you saw this, 2021, it kind of came down. It went below the oscillator. That's a kind of a red flag. And then you had this drop down, but you've had this since January, just this monster run. I think this is just a pullback. I think you get back to the 160s. In my mind, I'd rather see you at your age just hold this one. Now, Netflix, I think you absolutely hold Netflix. Netflix is making money. The actor strike is over. This one has gotten over the 200-day. That 50-day is moving positive. You're going to have a golden cross here at some point in time. I think this gap right here to 467 gets absolutely filled. If we look at a weekly, I think there's even a gap on the weekly. No, you're right at the 200-day. So the 200-day is going to provide you significant support at about 420. I don't think you sell it at 434 thinking that it's going to have support at 420. It's just my take on it. You can see the earnings. I mean, $3.73. The only time they beat that was way back in April 2021. And it's not like they were making a shit ton of money before the pandemic. So this company is making money. They're firing on all cylinders. So I think both. I think you just hold them. I mean, that's my thing. But again, Zeph, and I kind of point out, and I think Scott said this yesterday, I need to, he took the advice, do what makes you sleep at night. If you're going to lose sleep because Netflix goes back under 400 and you didn't sell it, sell it. If you're going to lose sleep because Amazon goes back to 130 and you didn't sell it at 140, sell it. I don't look at that stuff. I just don't look. I have to allow that when you put the word before legend, Lucas. I have to hit allow. But yeah, Zeph, and hopefully that gives you an idea. Listen, I don't pretend to know everything about these stocks. I don't, your guess is as good as mine, which way it's going to go. I just kind of in my realm, the number one rule is just don't listen to a douche on the internet. And I am a douche on the internet. Number two rule, don't listen to fucking Jim Cramer. I mean, that guy's been horrible. The hubris. Hold on. I had coffee. Oh, ISM, the Russell 2K. IWM it is. Yeah, Christian, I mean, some people have trades. I have trades within my my investing portfolio. So IWM, here is a tweet from yesterday, which is interesting. Let me look it up. Hold on. We're going to go to our newsletter. I think it was yesterday. Because there was a tweet, I remember, somebody put out a tweet with statistics. Maybe it was the day before. Yeah, it must have been the day before. So let's go back and we'll look at the Uber one. IWM. Yeah, here we go. The 24th time here. I will put this tweet in here for you. Roblox is crazy. And I was just saying at breakfast, I feel bad for the people that I told to not be greedy and to get out at 30. But I know there's one listener who got in at like 27, 28, and it went down to like 24. And she was like, should I hold? I said, no, you should add more. So here is Jeff. Here's the link to this tweet. And so you can look at the, I posted this in the newsletter. This is the 24th time, and this was from, 2 days ago, 6 days ago. 24th time Russell 2000 closed at a 52-week low, then surged to its best 4-day rally in at least 3 months. A year later, the small cap index was higher by 100% of the time, not by 100, but 100% of the time, with a median return of 25.6%. That was in the newsletter. So if you're not subscribed to the newsletter, you're missing shit like this. So make sure that you're subscribed to the newsletter. But if we just go back and we look at IWM on the algorithm, we can see it. Ironically, on November 1st, I mean, he posted that on November 2nd. On November 1st, we got a buy-in here at 164. I'm not a huge fan of IWM. I don't like small caps. I like large caps. I like them significantly more than I like anything in like I'd rather own the top 50. I'd rather own XLG than SPY. That's the top 50 S&P companies. So for me, the XLG just works better. It's been a longer term bear or a bull than anything else. So I'm not a huge one, Jeff, but I do think that IWM, it's a solid leverage. If I were to play IWM and just play those small cap, I'd probably, let's look at our levered ETFs here. You get this, by the way, if you subscribe to TrendSpider and get under my program. You get all of this. That's the mid cap. That's the short Russell 2000 URTY. So this is an Ultra Pro. It's a 3 times levered ETF on the Russell URTY. So we talked about it on November 2nd. This 3 times levered. Mind you, this is not an investment. These are decaying assets. You don't want to invest in these. You want to trade these. So this isn't something where you put it into your portfolio and just forget about it. You don't. DPST, boy, look at that. From 44 to 54. We got all the way up to 60, though. Oof. These levered ETFs are just, look at TQQQ. I timed it pretty perfectly. But I think I bought it 33 and it's at 39 now. You got a nice 20% move. At some point in time, UVIXY is going to be a buy. The VIX is crazy low. Let's look at the VIX, S&P VIX, 12, 14. So it's at 14. This is just, look, it's crazy low. I trade them and selling is just, that's it. When you guys ask me, when do you sell them? That's such a personal decision. Because I don't think buying is a personal decision, because I think half of you tune in to buy with a douche on the internet, meaning me. But when you sell them, it is more personal. I tend to look at a 5-minute, with a levered ETF, I'll do a 5-minute chart. With a levered ETF, I might, maybe the 65-minute. If you get my algorithm, if you sign up for TrendSpider, which is on special, look at this 65-minute. So if you go to TQQQ, let's see if you're still in it. You can see TQQQ on the 65-minute right down here. Yeah, this is what's crazy. So TQQQ, if you bought it 8 months ago, you're up 91% on TQQQ. Okay? If you use the 65-minute algorithm, you're up 45%. So the algorithm underperforms in a huge bull market. Now, what's crazy is, I don't know, why is that? Oh, this only goes back to September. Okay. So there's 7, the reason 65 minutes is because there's 7 candles in a trading day with a 65-minute algorithm. So you can see how it just pumped up here to 46 in July at the July highs. we're just going up there. Now, QQQ, we are close to all-time highs on QQQ. Look at TQQQ on the 4-hour. I know. Here's the thing, Christian, and you know this as being kind of an OG. When we're in a bull market, Gary gets a ton of people in here. I get a ton of people. So here's TQQQ. Look, I said here, that's where I thought when we got to the 50-day, I thought, okay, we got our first resistance. Now, our next resistance is this 200-day on TQQQ. This is the 4-hour. This is the 4-hour algorithm. Now, mind you, if you bought TQQQ 24 months ago, that's what the 4-hour algorithm, it goes back 1,000 candles, 24 months. You would lose 29% using the algorithm. Right down here, you can see it, 29%. If you were to buy and hold, you'd lose 52%. That tells me that the algorithm actually works. It protects you on the downside. You can't protect yourself 100% if a stock's just falling 60, 70%. So this one's down 50%. So, okay, I got to start my damn podcast because I think the first thing that I'm saying is social request Wednesday. There we go. Okay, we're going to start off with QQQ. And do I have Savvy Trader up? I do have Savvy Trader up. I want the core portfolio. I'm beating most people, by the way, at 5.45%. There we go. And I got that. Portfolio tracker, TrendSpider. Okay, I think I got everything. Let's check oil. Oil's down another 0.74. So $78. Okay. Let's start this out. I'm going to hit record. For anybody that's new, I usually ignore your comments when I'm doing the podcast. Don't worry. Once I'm done with the podcast, I will come back. I read your comments. So if you have a stock that you want me to look at, just take a look at it. Just comment down below and I'll take a look at it. FBCG. Oh, that one just doesn't trade in the pre-market, so that's why it's down 5%. What are you thinking about Tesla? I will look at Tesla because I do have Rivian. If I don't look at it in the podcast, Cam, I promise I'll look at it after the podcast. But Rivian earnings were last night, so. But I comment on Tesla commonly because I own Tesla through XLY. I have a large position in XLY, and that has the 50% of that ETF is Amazon and Tesla. So I do have a stake in it, but I don't know outright yes yet. Snowflake, Pavin, I'll take a look at it. Snowflake for me is more of a trade. I've said, hey, it's going to 180. I think you're at least going to 180. But Snowflake for the purposes of the core portfolio was taken out. I'll comment on it, but yeah, Cam, I'll look at Tesla. Let me just get started here because I'm going to be on for all day if I listen to every comment and stuff. So good morning. It's Wednesday, November 8th, and we have a ton of people on YouTube Live this morning, and you can tell it's a bull market. Like Christian said, when I've got a bunch of comments and a bunch of people coming around, it's officially FOMO. People are coming back. They're understanding, hey, there's an opportunity to be making money here. So let's listen to Gary. Let's listen to a douche on the internet. Number one rule, do not listen to a douche on the internet. And I am that douche on the internet. So do your own research, do your own trading, do your own due diligence, understand what I talk about. If you don't know what I'm talking about, simply comment below and ask me, when you said this, what do you mean? Because sometimes I have ADD. I just go on a roll. I don't know what I'm saying. Half the time I'm just spouting off comments about something that I don't know anything about. So understand that's the first rule. The second rule, don't listen to Jim Cramer. Jim Cramer knows nothing. Nothing. He's smart. He understands it. He knows how to manipulate the market. Guy's a boomer. He's telling you invest in Ford, not Tesla. What a douche. Major douche. So don't get me started on that. Jerome Powell speaks right before the opening bell. He's slated for 15 minutes of opening remarks. I don't think that's going to move the markets. The markets are pretty positive right now. I mean, this is QQQ. Understand, we are 1% away from all-time highs. So you go over to FinViz and you look at QQQ. You look at the 52-week, 3.94%, 387. That's an all-time high. Well, I don't think 387 is an all-time high. Let's take a look. Let's just go back on QQQ. I think we're less than. Let's take a look. This, we're going to look at. We're going to go here. I'm going to zoom in a little. Let's zoom in a little. And we're going to go from here to there. We are 9%. Sorry, so it's 10%. I missed the zero in my counting. We're 10% away from all-time highs. Simple as that. I mean, that's if you're not bullish on this, look. And I will talk about this. I was talking about this earlier. I'm going to do an animated short. I'm hoping I can get this done in Pixar technology about what is confirmation. Confirmation is pick your poison. Whatever moving average you want to look at, it simply is the stock trading above that moving average. That's confirmation. Right here you can see weekly, we opened on QQQ at 368. The high was 373. The low 366. We're at 372 right now. In pre-market, you're trading at 372. So right here, 372.90. That 9-day is the green candle. The 9-day is at 362. You have confirmation. Doesn't mean that you couldn't open up at 342 and lose confirmation today. Doesn't mean that you can't have a catalyst that brings it way down and you lose confirmation. It just means that right now you're confirming an uptrend. It doesn't mean it's going to go on forever, but look at this. See, like this one right back here, August 15th, the low was 322. You had confirmation because the 9-day was at 312. The next week, your low was 307. You lost confirmation. It continues down. Then when you gain confirmation again, you continue to go up. It's kind of, part of the animation I'm going to work on is just about tripping over a fence. Think of your moving average as a fence. If your foot gets stuck on that fence, then you're not going to make it over. But if you're above it, you're going to make it over. So understand, you need confirmation. Now, there is huge news in TrendSpider, not just the sale, the Black Friday sale. That is huge because you can get it for just under $300. But the huge news is TrendSpider, now powered by OpenAI and ChatGPT. This video puts it exactly. So what they're doing is they type in death cross into the market scanner. Let's find stocks that in the Dow that have a death cross. And then you put in RSI under 50. So it's on the oversold part. MACD, cross up on the signal, apply. You're still looking at the Dow. All you have to do is type that in. You can save that scanner and choose a list. You scan it. Simple as that, powered by ChatGPT. You can make your own algorithms. Simple as just typing them in. Understand TrendSpider you need the elite portion. So here's the prices. If you want to do a monthly, you can do $31.85 per month. Use the link below, sign up, and then you email me. So it's really, this is huge news. I will include this link in the newsletter. So sign up for the newsletter, but so you can just look at it. What are the GPT conditions used? You can look at this. Example prompts. They give you everything that you need. Everything that you need to create a algorithm. Here is the link tree. If you want to sign up for anything, linktr.ee/daily stock pick. The TrendSpider right here, up to 82% off. Right here is Seeking Alpha, but here's the link tree is the most important part. Understand this all new ChatGPT game changer. And by the way, that's my friend Jeff and Eric. We always talk about two of our most hated words: game changing. We hate game changer. People say, but in this word, I think it does apply here. So understand that. Now, when we talk about confirmation, I published an article in the newsletter yesterday about Bob. And if you just go to the newsletter, it's down near the bottom. I want you to bookmark this. Go to dailystockpick.substack.com. Even if you don't sign up for it, what if you only invested at market peaks? Okay, I want you to basically bookmark that, because the Daily Stock Pick Core Portfolio and Savvy Trader, 35 positions that are core positions, good companies with good products, with good earnings and good management. These are companies that you should invest in. Now, I bought at the June highs, June 19th. If we go back here and we look at June 19th, June 17th, right here, look at that. That's the highs, okay? The core portfolio in Savvy Trader is now up 0.94%. So that's at the highs. That's where you could have bought at the lows. This is the even weighted portfolio. So it's 100 stocks of each of the 35 stocks. I will take stocks in, I will take stocks out, but savvytrader.com is where you want to go to sign up. Again, it's on Linktree. It's down here. Savvy Trader, follow my trades. I do a bunch of trades. I have two portfolios. There's the core portfolio, and then there's the trading portfolio. The trading portfolio has some really good stocks. If we look at this, you can see I'm up just in less than a week. On TQQQ, I'm up 16%. IONQ, I'm up 4%. Palantir, I'm up 30%. Shopify, I'm up 8%. Meta, I'm up 6%. On and on. DraftKings, I'm up 26%. Amazon, I'm up 13%. On and on and on. If you want to follow my trades, go over there. That's probably, and it's free. There's nothing, you don't have to pay a thing. Now, one that I noticed that's moving, and we had a cross up on this one earlier. I'm not a big fan of ARK. And the reason I'm not a big fan of ARK is because I can trade her trades after she publishes them. I can see what she's into. I can do it, pick and choose which ones I want. Now, ARK here at 35, you're at 40. Significant, what, 20% move here? Your 200-day here at 42 is going to be a resistance level. I think if you get, I think you've confirmed above that 9-day. I think you can buy here at 42. At 40, and probably get up to 44. Now, this is kind of the hey, let's look at the risk. The risk reward, what I would tell you is put your stop loss in at 39, because if you're going down to 39, you're going to cover this gap down to 38, and then your 50 days is going to start moving. But here's what I like: you had this death cross, and the 50 days moving down. 50 days started to move up. So I don't think that you're out of the realm of possibility that this continues to go up. I like this risk reward. Again, buy at 40, put the stop loss in somewhere at 39 because you don't want to cover this gap. But if you go up above this 200-day and you continue to confirm above that 200-day, you might have this gap at 48 in line. You might have the top here at 45 in line. But I want you to make sure that you hold that 200-day, and as you get up there, the 200-day then becomes your stop loss. So just understand, I think that's a good risk reward on that one. I will include in the newsletter this article: Wall Street's top 10 growth stocks according to Seeking Alpha's quant ratings. So this is a great article. Lee, SMCI, Shopify, PDD, Vistra, TRRM, CrowdStrike, Celsius, Frontline, Inter & Co. I haven't heard half of these. But, and then there's some great SPY-G, growth, VOT, which is mid-cap growth, small-cap growth, some things. That article is going to be a good one. I like that one. I'll include it in the newsletter. Okay, I got to stop because I got to pee. Coffee. Hold on. Okay. Sorry about that. Morning, Scott. Control K. Enzyte. I like Bob. Bob's a good one. Okay, where was I? ARC. Okay, the top 10. We're going to close that down. Okay, next article. Somebody on YouTube asked me about Snowflake. Here's Snowflake. Got an upgrade. Snowflake, MongoDB, Confluent all get upgrades after the Datadog results. That's basically the data miners that are out there. And so if we go to Snowflake, I took Snowflake out of the core portfolio. And again, if you want the core portfolio, it's over in Savvy Trader. You can go and look at it. But I took them out of the core portfolio. And the reason I took them out of the core portfolio is I think it's in a trading range. And so I like this one to get back to about 180. And I think at 180, you sell it. I think you're going to get over, right now you're up 0.13, you're at 159.68. The 200 days still moving down as far as, long-term trend. It's moving down. Medium term, the 50-day, starting to turn up. So I don't think you're too late in getting into this one. I think if you want to wait, I think you wait till you confirm over that 200-day. Just to confirm that, that 160 kind of price is your floor. But I think anywhere between 140 and 150, I think you buy this and you wait till it pops to 180. They have their earnings coming up on November 29th. I just, in my mind, I think it's a decent trade. I think, you can read that article and understand a little bit more about it. I did look at the Seeking Alpha pre-market core portfolio. Yesterday's top gainers, Uber, 3.7%. Roblox is on a freaking tear. And my assumption is it's up 18% today after their earnings. They announced that they lost 45 cents. If we just go over here to Seeking Alpha, we'll type in Seeking Alpha. Let's look up Roblox. I mean, Roblox, I know I feel bad because I told people, hey, don't be greedy at 30. If you bought at 27, understand that you want to wait until you don't have confirmation to sell, but you should get out. Tops estimates will give guidance starting next year. So they're going to start giving guidance. That's huge. So Roblox here, 41. You're at 41. Look at this. 27 was the buy in the algorithm. Again, you're crazy if you don't sign up for TrendSpider. It's $300. If you're making trades that are more than $300 or your portfolio is more than $300,000, makes no sense not to spend the money on TrendSpider and just make sure that you're trading in a solid way with ChatGPT. I love that stuff. But anybody in the Facebook group, if you want to join the Facebook group, just click here on Linktree, linktr.ee/daily stock pick. The Facebook group is right here on the left. Ask anybody in the Facebook group. It's a private group. You have to answer a question to join, but ask them, hey, how do you like TrendSpider? Because the majority of people in there are subscribed to TrendSpider, and we all kind of understand it a little bit. So I answer questions in there about it. If you have TrendSpider and you have any questions, just ask in that group. We'll find an answer for you. So understand that part of being in my group is not just, hey, hit it and forget it, buy it and forget it. No, I'm going to try and provide you some support. But Roblox, crazy. It was up 3% yesterday. PanW was up 2.4%. PanW, I own PanW. I own PanW and I own CrowdStrike, both of them. The one of the losers, Devon. And Devon reported earnings. If I go down here and I just look at Devon, Devon, it's interesting because they raised their quarterly dividend by 57%. They went from 49 cents to 77 cents. And that didn't move the stock. Understand here, in fact, Roblox, I should probably, I won't put anything in there. But Devon Energy, as far as Devon goes, you've lost confirmation. And it was right yesterday. They reported $1.65. It's down again. This is nothing more than oil going down. Oil going down is what's driving the market up partially because oil going down means there's no recession. When oil goes up, you're going to have a recession. I'm sorry, it's the opposite way. We could have a recession, but oil is moving down more on the China news, I believe. China weakness, they're not buying as much, but we know that supply restraints are coming. And so Devon's down 2%. I still think it's a $50 stock. If we go over here to the core portfolio and we look up Devon, you can see that it's even in the quant ratings, it's not super strong. This one from October 24th, dude says strong buy. It's down 1 year 35%. Quant rating is 330, but Wall Street has it as a buy. I don't understand. Again, this is part of the market and part of your sizing. If you want to hold it out, you can hold out. Do I think that it's coming down to 30? If we look at a long term, this is where I get a little bit worried about Devon in particular. It has underperformed the market, underperformed the energy sector, everything. But if you look prior to the pandemic, this was a $24 stock. Now, they are significantly a better company than they were back then. If we go to charting, and I just let's look at some of the peers, because some of the peers you'll be able to see. Look at this chart. I mean, Devon is down 35%. That's the orange down here. Look at FANG. They're only down 0.9. That's 1 year. Coterra, down 3%. WDS, which is, I don't even know what that is, but WDS, EQT, down 8%. Marathon, MRO, down 23%. So you pick the worst of the worst. I don't understand it. If we just go over to charting here, and I'm just going to basically say, let's select symbols, because I'm going to do the S&P 500 and then the XLE, because XLE significantly better. XLE down 10%. That's over 1 year. Devon down 34%. If we just look at year to date on these, you can see Devon's down 19%. XLE is only down 0.81. The S&P's up 14%. So Devon is kind of the same thing. Here, we'll look at another symbol since I'm going to go over that one. Oxy. Oxy reported earnings kind of in line. Warren Buffett owns a ton of this. Oxy, over year to date, they're down 1.39%. So it's not as bad as Devon. Devon is just the worst of the worst right now. And so, I mean, I'm sticking in it. I'm probably going to wait until it gets over 60 again. 50. If it gets over 50, I'm going to sell out of it. I don't know that I'll get back in when it gets under 40, but I'll wait for the confirmation. Oxy's the same thing. They're up 3%. And I think Oxy may be up 3% because they announced a direct capture with BlackRock. I don't exactly know why it's up 3%. Maybe Warren Buffett's buying a bunch of it. Devon is down 1.63%, and Oxy is up 3.4%. This one, same thing, $60. I think that, I moved this up to 63 up here. I think 63 is probably your, hey, buy it underneath it, sell it over it. You're only at 62. So, Oxy and Devon, here's the thing. Oil fell 5% yesterday, 5%. And it's down right now. It's down another 1%. It's at 76. Crude oil is at 76. This was just at 90. So understand that's what's pulling the energy stocks down. And the energy stocks are not down as much as crude oil, which is crazy to me, which means that they're pricing in some pricing power. So Riot earnings reported yesterday. They missed. Loss of 25 cents, misses by 4 cents, revenue of 51.9 million, missed by 15 million bucks. Riot is the same as Mara. I like Mara more than I like Riot. And Mara is not in the core portfolio, but they do have earnings coming up. I think it's today. It's today after the bell. So Mara with Riot kind of losing, you can see it's lost its confirmation there. You're still in at 807 on this buy. You got all the way up to, let's see, the high was 1072. I said sell over 10. 10 is my price point on this one. I think under 10, you buy it. I think over 10, you sell it. $8.88. Riot doesn't put a lot of confidence in me, but I still think at some point in time, you get above 10. Mara is just one of those companies that I think you'll be fine with. Rivian, they announced earnings and they lost a bunch of money. I'll put an article if you want to read it from Seeking Alpha in there. I'm not going to read it on air here. But Rivian, I continue to say it's over $20. I think this is going to be a $30 stock at some point in time in the next year. It's going to be a $30 stock. They announced that they are no longer an exclusive. The vans that you see around from Amazon and Rivian agreed it's no longer an exclusive relationship. They're going to allow Rivian to sell those vans to other delivery companies. So essentially, you've got a new arm of Rivian that is going to do not only just SUVs for the public, but they will do delivery vans as well. I think that's positive news. The other thing is they're losing less money per vehicle. The other good news is they upped their production number. This is up 2% in pre-market. I think you can buy it here. 16 obviously was a great price. You're at 1783. I think you wait until you have absolute confirmation. You just don't right now. So I think you wait a couple of times, but old resistance turns into new support. And so I think that this green line right here at 1722, I think that's your support. That used to be resistance. So we went way back to draw that line, way back in the Rivian kind of chart. Earnings on Wednesday, highlighted by Disney. Here's all the companies that are doing after Wednesday's close. Walt Disney, Twilio. In fact, that's one of the social requests, Twilio. But I'll include this article. So Take-Two Interactive Software, Virgin Galactic. You can, the SPAC that Chamath fleeced everybody on, the grift, if you want. Now let's talk about another one that has earnings. It's IONQ. Somebody asked me in YouTube about IONQ. I like this company. The CEO's leaving. They have earnings coming up. They have plenty of cash. I don't think they're going to dilute shareholders. You have confirmation. You just had the death cross here October 23rd. But you had an entry here at 1092. I think I got in at 1107. It's 1149 right now. You do have confirmation over here. Now, earnings with companies like this are always, this is a gamble. This is 100% a gamble. You don't know anything about this company. It's not like you know something about IONQ that the market doesn't, and you're going to automatically make money. It's 100% a gamble. Your top here at 20. That's the top. Your average target price is 15, but understand that target price only comes from 2021 and 2022, two of them, and then there's two that are more recent in April and August, a $7 and a $21. So just understand you got to go in and read these things. There's nothing crazy about insiders selling. The insiders selling at 1052, even though this one on June 1st, they sold at 1075. I mean, at $10, I'd sell this company too, knowing it was going down. The sale at $4, which was December, way back when, that's just people getting some money out of the IPO when they could do it. So this is a quantum computing company. I think IONQ is a good one. When I bought at 1107, understand I only put $50 into this. This was not a huge buy. I don't think this company warrants an enormous buy. I don't think thousands of dollars goes into this. I think thousands of dollars goes into something like SMCI with a solid track record. I think that one you could, this is 16% candle in the morning and it's down 5% with earnings. I still like this to go back to 300 to gap fill at 350. This candle right here at 260, solid play at 260. Even though you're at 259 right now, this candle went all the way down to 227. So the reason the algorithm says, hey, buy at 260 is because the opening price was 260, 260.76. So it will buy on the open of that candle. The algorithm buys on the open of the candle. You didn't have confirmation. It since has gone, just up. I mean, it's just pushing that one. The 50-day just had a death cross. I don't think this one's going anywhere. I like this one to continue moving. Now, let's talk a little bit about the past couple of weeks, because I said, hey, you should buy Boeing at 191. Yesterday, Boeing in after hours went to 200. Here, you have yesterday, November 3rd, you're at 195. I still say get this one under 200. The 50-day is starting to move positive. You don't have confirmation right now. I think 191 is a decent price. I think you add to it if you have it, which I have done. But I think, I think Boeing goes to 200. The Spirit Aero Systems last night was a disaster. They were down like 25%, saying that they need more money. Uber, this one just keeps going. I said it's a $50 stock after earnings. It hit $50. So if you bought in here, kudos to you. I did buy in. I bought in more. I just own it. Now I've got to decide once it's over 50, and it is over 50. It's at 49.93. It will hit 50 again today because I think we're going up. The RSI is at 77. Makes no sense to hold this over 50. Put in your sale order for 50. Understand that most likely that you'll be able to buy this under 50 again. Amazon. Good question from Zephan about Amazon. He said, hey, I'm way up on Amazon. Should I get rid of it now that it's over 140? My price target was 140. I bought about $20,000 worth of this at 120 right before earnings. It's been solid. You still have confirmation. I'm not looking to get rid of this until it loses confirmation. Could we have some type of Israeli catalyst in the war in Gaza that causes the market to come back here to 135? Absolutely. Am I getting rid of it at 142? No, it's still got confirmation. So, but remember, my position in Amazon was buying and putting that base in at 120. My base right now is at like 40 or 50. So I'm going to sell some of those older shares at 40 or 50, take the profits, and then just, the shares that I just bought at 120, I'll just let that be the base. So that's my plan. My plan is a little bit different than most people. So understand, when you're listening to a douche on the internet, that's what you want to listen to is, are they talking their own book? I'm talking my own book. So this is it. I saw this tweet yesterday. Fantastic tweet from Mona. Why are you entering a trade if you don't see a setup? That's what got me the idea for, I need to make sure that you guys understand confirmation. That's the biggest thing that I need to teach, I think, these days is confirmation. Just understand you need to get confirmation before you make a trade. You could have a hypothesis, like, for instance, TQQQ. I bought this one on November 2nd because I said, hey, November's typically a very strong seasonal month. I didn't have this buy-in here at 33.53. I didn't have that. That didn't trigger until after I bought this one because I think it was, it was November 2nd before the bell. This didn't show up, 33. It was after the bell that this showed up, the confirmation in my algorithm. Now, I had confirmation over the 9-day, and that's why I was looking at it is the day before we had solid gains. So I didn't time it, didn't look at it, but I still have confirmation over the 9-day. So understand you need confirmation. If you don't have confirmation and you just have a hypothesis, like November's a strong month for QQQ seasonally, then you can go in, but understand, set your stop losses because that's the second most important thing is to limit your losses on your hypothesis. If you're entering a trade without confirmation or without some type of chart issue, then you should have your stop losses fairly tight. That's what I would say. I don't know why FBCG is down 5%. That's not down 5%. That's just a calculation. Yeah, something's going on there. Let's look at the social requests. That just caught my eye, sorry. But let's look at the social request. Twilio. Al from Spotify wants me to look at Twilio. They have their earnings coming up later tonight. This is a company that I used back at Earthlink when I was working. Solid software. I really like their software. The problem that you have is the valuation on this one. It has dipped down here to 50, so you're below your 200-day. You have the death cross here, which was October 5th. I think you're looking at a similar low to this, where it hit 47 right after earnings. You had this pump up right into earnings, and then you drop down. That's what I would be worried about here. This chart looks very similar to May going into this. Now, if you look at the valuation, TWLO, let's look at Twilio. They're losing $1.2 billion. They have plenty of cash on hand, $20 per share, 176 million shares. You can see the trend line, obviously down. The average price target is 67. Most recently, HSBC initiated coverage with a $67 price target. You're trading at 56. In August, Argus moved it from hold to buy with a $72 price target. Before that, you can see earlier this year, all downgrades. And they had it as a $50 price target. So Kathy Woods, just yesterday, goes bargain hunting again. I guess she bought a bunch of Twilio. Let's see. Let's look at this Motley Fool article. I'll put this in the newsletter. Twilio, Toast, and Block are among the 8 existing positions that she added to Monday. So she added a bunch of Twilio. Let me just copy this, and I'll put this in the newsletter for you, Al. She added to it on Monday. So, I mean, if you're following Kathy Woods, she likes this. And I also like the actual software. I really, really like the software. You can read this. Stock rallied after its last quarterly update. The blowout adjusted profit helped, but even the 10% top line gain was more than double Twilio's own guidance earlier this year. It's a solid company. I think they have a solid stock. You can see that their last earnings, they popped up here. They moved from 59 up to 67. And that was September 8th. And since then, you've just gone down. If you were in at 50, I'd say get out at 56 because that's your 10% profit, and you could take profit. And if it dumps after earnings, you could take it, take your profit and move on. So James asked me, great question, by the way, James, on Spotify. If you had $1,000, which grade 8 stock would you put it in? Also, do I buy now or wait for a pullback? Thanks. So I go back to the Bob. James, it depends on your age, depends on your target, depends on your time frame. But the Bob article is perfect. Don't wait. He invested at the top of the market. Now let's look at the grade 8 real quick. Apple, I don't think I'd buy it at this price point. I think I'd wait until it comes back down below the 200-day. If you got in at 171, I say Apple, you just buy it. I mean, if you don't have a position in Apple, you're crazy. Wait until it gets under 180. I think it's going to go back under 180. It's only up 0.85 today. But at 183, you're still getting a bargain. They're buying tons of stock back. They're basically pulling the stock off the market. So even though they've had 3 declining quarters of revenues, I think the stock is, they're playing a game of manipulation. They make so much money that they can buy the stock back that I think it's like a savings account, man. Warren Buffett can't buy enough of this. Amazon, we went over. I don't know that I'd add here, but I do think that it's going to hit 160 at some point, probably in the next few months. But do I add here? I don't know. I mean, it seems like a solid one, but I don't know. I mean, you have confirmation. Go back to Bob. It's a solid company with solid earnings. Google, this one for me, I think the target is 130. Buy it when it's under 130. I think you'll be fine when you buy it under 130. The buy-in here was at 128. You're at 132 right now. Could you add to 132? 5 years from now, 10 years from now, you're not going to remember that $2 per share that you bought 5 shares with. You're not going to remember the $10 that it's down or it's up. You're not going to remember that. So it depends on your time frame. Meta, I think this is by far one of the best opportunities in the grade 8. And at 317, I think it's a little bit extended. Mark Zuckerberg just sold a bunch. In fact, you can go on the Twitter feed of TrendSpider to see a picture. The last time Mark Zuckerberg sold, I can show you just randomly, he sold up here. The last time Mark Zuckerberg sold, he had perfect timing. It was in September of 2021, I believe. Perfect timing at the height. He sold again at this point. Does this tell me it's going down again? Probably not. I mean, they have no catalyst. The elections are coming up. They're going to manipulate the elections. It is what it is. But, again, if you buy at 317, say you buy 5 shares and at 317 instead of $300, it's $50, $60. Don't worry about it. I mean, say you buy 10 shares, it's $100. It's not that big of a deal for a long-term buy. You can't time the market. Just understand you do want to buy when the stock is weak. You don't want to buy when it's super strong. Microsoft, this one, I mean, they just released ChatGPT 4, or I'm sorry, it might be 5. I don't exactly know what they're on, but Copilot is going to be huge for this company. And Microsoft, it just keeps going up. For me, anything under 350 in Microsoft, great buy. Anything over 350, maybe wait. I mean, but again, you don't want to buy, you don't want FOMO. FOMO is what you want to stay away from. Netflix, anything under 400. I think at this point, anything under 420, toke up, buy the stock. But I think 435, I think you've got tons of gaps up here. If we go and we look at it, let's just go and look at a daily, because we'll just look at a daily to see the traditional gaps, because you've got an even bigger gap that is way back here where they started. This gap goes to $505. Solid company. And look at the earnings. Just look at the earnings. $1.33. That was where they dropped huge. Then it goes to $3.53. That's a great earnings, but their users went down. Dropped again. $3.20. Earnings drop, but it went up because they said, hey, we're going to launch an ad tier. $3.10. Hey, that's a solid earnings. They're starting to get users too. We're going to crack down on passwords. 12 cents. There was a bunch of write-offs. Don't even worry about it. $2.88. Yeah, bunch of write-offs. We're starting our ad tier. Don't worry about it. $3.29. Yeah, a little bit of problem because they're not growing as much as they did. $3.73. Boom. Set for takeoff. So understand that these gaps up here, in my mind, are completely in target. Now, the final one of the grade 8 is that somebody asked for on YouTube as well. Tesla. Here's my thing on Tesla. I own a Tesla. I drive a Tesla. I bought one that was made in a tent back in 2018, a Model 3. I have full self-driving. I believe in this company. I believe Elon is probably one of the biggest geniuses. You've got a death cross here. And that death cross just moved the stock down after earnings. The problem that I have with Tesla right now is that you're at 220. I think closer to 200 is where you buy. Doesn't mean it's not going to pump all the way up to 253. I think it's the 11th of November somewhere, or maybe it's the 30th of November. They have the Cybertruck launch. If you have not seen the matte black Cybertruck, just go on and look at the Cybertruck, matte black. Just Google it. It is unbelievable. Plus, add to it, Jim Cramer thinks that the Ford Maverick is a better truck than the Cybertruck. This dude is so out of touch. And understand, inverse always wins. They're going to sell a ton of these things. I think they have 400,000 reservations. So they're going to sell a ton of these. A ton of them. So understand that that's what this stock is going to do. It's going to be huge. It's going to be enormous. So there's your grade 8. There's your social platform, social request right there. Okay, I'm going to stop because I forgot to do scans. I forgot to do freaking scans. So let's scan the market. I think it's a little too late now, but because you're actually in the next candle. Pan W, that one's got a cross up. So we're going to look at that one. Let's cover call ETFs. Oh, I don't care about those. We don't even care about those. The energy names, let's see if any energy names now. Energy's just weak. Let's see about levered ETFs. Anything? Nope, nothing in levered ETFs. Spider sectors, I don't care about Vanguard too much. Any sectors cross up? Nope. Let's look at my not owned section. Pan W match. Match is way up. Did they just have earnings? Yeah, they did. Match. Could be a gap filler. Okay, stop. And we're going to go to the Dow. Let's see if the Dow has any cross-ups. I mean, it's just been a solid market. I don't think you're getting anything new. NASDAQ 100. Pan W is the only one. And let's look at S and... Oh, where's the and? And P. There's the S&P. Nothing. Okay. So, yes. And we're going to go 4 hour. And we're going to go Pan W. Okay, start recording. Okay. I forgot to do scans before the market opened, so I'm doing scans. I just did scans real quickly. And again, if you watch the scans on YouTube live, you'll see how I did it. Just understand you can get the scans, everything that you need, everything that I just did is available in TrendSpider, $31 a month or $382 for the year if you take the 7-day trial. If you don't take the 7-day trial, just get it. It's $296 or $24 a month. I think this Black Friday sale is tremendous. because they offer a monthly, $24 a month. $24 a month is nothing. That's $296 up front, but $24 a month, that's crazy cheap for what you're getting. Let's look at the scans that I got. PanW. First one's PanW, Palo Alto Networks. Their earnings are coming up. Understand Fortinet had super bad earnings. I think that's in the benefit of PanW and CrowdStrike. I think those two companies are probably making Fortinet. Probably customers are coming over from there. But Fortinet, PanW, and CrowdStrike both have their earnings November 28th, I think, is CrowdStrike. Let's look at PanW. Their earnings, I think, are a little bit sooner. Yeah, their earnings are November 15th. So I like PanW. I think it's $250 stock. It's trading at $243 right now. I think this one continues higher. The only other scan that came up was Match. And Match is interesting because they had their earnings, so you don't really have a catalyst going forward. What's interesting about Match is, are you going to cover this gap back up to 34? A nice 10% up. And this is in the 4-hour algorithm. I like gaps. I mean, this one had the death cross. You're not moving positive on the 50-day. The 9-day has just started to move. Right now, you're trading at $30.85, which does have confirmation. But remember how I said on confirmation, if your foot catches the fence, you're not jumping over the fence. You're just going to fall flat on your face. You want confirmation with the candle above the 9-day. That would confirm that you have, look, I mean, it doesn't always happen with the algorithm, but when you're at 43 up here on the left, it moved all the way to 48 because it was well above the 9-day. And yeah, the algorithm got you out late. But once you touch that 9-day, go and sell that stock if you want. If you're in it for the profits, you have to understand, if you make a 1% profit, that's money in your pocket. Doesn't matter that the stock went up another 10%. You made money. You can feel regret that you didn't stay in. But understand protecting your capital and understanding that markets don't care whether you make 10% or 1%. The markets just want you to be in the market. So the candlesticks are solid technical plays to play, and you have to have confirmation. So there's your two. Again, Linktree, if you want any of the stuff that you saw on the podcast, Linktree, linktr.ee/daily stock pick. Facebook group. You can follow me on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, anything that you want. Seeking Alpha, $50 off. It's $189 per year. Fantastic service. You get to import your portfolio, watch your portfolio, get news on your portfolio. The morning briefing is fantastic. I love getting that email. The newsletter right here. Other thing is, if you're paying more than $25 a month for your phone service, click on the link in the link tree right down here, visible. You get $20 off your first month. So your first month is only $20 or $5. Goes from $25 down to $5. Porting your number, simple. eSIM, greatest thing ever invented. You can port your number over 15, 20 minutes. That's all it takes. So, and if you want the premium data, you can get it for $35 a month. I have the 25. I haven't seen the need to move to 35, but 35 is significantly faster. In fact, a couple weeks ago, I was in Philadelphia and the hotel Wi-Fi went out. So I couldn't do the podcast live, but the hotspot here was enough for me to get the charts and do a recorded version of the podcast. I just used the hotspot on my phone. So I really, really like that one. Understand the markets are slightly mixed. They're not great right now, but you are up. I mean, Oxy's up 1.89. Roblox, obvious clear winner in the core portfolio right now, up 18% on those earnings at 41. Don't be greedy. I think 40 is the crazy one, the crazy price on that one. But XOM down at 103. This one, I mean, solid earnings. They're buying Pioneer Natural Resources. Their ex-dividend date is November 14th. I think anything under 100 is a fantastic price for this one. I think anything around 100 is a fantastic price for this one. Understand, as this one goes down, the dollar amount that you'll receive, you get 2.33 shares of Exxon for every share of PXD that you own. So as the price comes down on Exxon, PXD becomes a little bit more valuable, and that's why it's only down 0.35. As of a couple of days ago, I figured out that price, the price that you'd get for the amount of value that you'd get is 246. So it's 234. So I think Christian said it yesterday. I think it's going to trade like Activision Blizzard before Microsoft bought them. You could get that one for anywhere between 65, I think, and somewhere up. I think it went to 90. So it's not going to trade all the way up to 246, but I think that's probably where you're looking at the top. My personal play on PXD is, and I said this, I think I said this yesterday, I'm waiting for that dividend. That dividend's a decent dividend. It's not something that I think as oil continues to go down, I'm willing to stay on. If you touch this gap between 230 and 215, which was the cause, this was when the purchase was announced. And by the way, down here at 215, I was screaming buy. I bought more because it was printed in the Wall Street Journal that they were about to buy them. The price was just, we don't know what the price is. I bought them at 215. Then I bought them again at 231. So we're at 234. I think that dividend, ex-dividend date is a key. I think after that ex-dividend date, I think a lot of people get out of this stock, so the selling pressure might get harder on this one. But since you are getting two shares, I don't think you get out of this one until you get up to 240. So there's my take on it. Okay, talk to you guys tomorrow. See you, bye. What do I think about CrowdStrike? I think CrowdStrike is not making money. I think CrowdStrike will make money at some point in time. I like the company. I think they're the fastest grower in cybersecurity. The reason I own CrowdStrike is they're losing $93 million. At some point, they will turn cash flow positive. That's when you're at a $300 stock, $400 stock. Right now, the forward PE is 54, so they have to continue growing at a pretty good rate to justify that stock price. But I think it pops enough that when they turn positive, I think it's a solid play for long term. Year to date, you're up 83%. I think this one, if I were trading this one, I think 193. I think you start to trade it at this point. I mean, just that valuation at 54 PE worries me a little. But if they're going to turn cash flow positive, I mean that would be huge. You can see they're making 74 cents per share, 57 cents per share, but they're still losing money. So just understand CrowdStrike is a solid one. The reason I have CrowdStrike and Palo Alto's the leader. CrowdStrike's the fastest growing. So, and I believe cybersecurity. I mean, listen, who's cutting cybersecurity? When Fortinet says that we're seeing weakness in IT spending, I mean, look at Fortinet. The reason they're seeing weakness in spending is because their competitors are taking their business. There's no weakness in spending. You can see the last two earnings, they've come down in, this is 305 bars, more than 222 days. So you're back. Let's see, where does this go back to? I know I drew this because you've lost so much in Fortinet. And Fortinet was a great play. In fact, it's funny because Motley Fool, this is one of their big ones here. 2 years, 4 months, 23 weeks, 2 weeks. So 2 years, you've basically made a complete round trip in 2 years. So this is where it was at COVID. I don't know. The business is broken. I mean, that was my note. The business is broken, Sean. But I like CrowdStrike. I do like CrowdStrike. And I like Palo Alto. Okay, I am going to get out of here. I am on here every morning. So if you're not subscribed, make sure you're subscribed. Hit the like button. I'll be back. Again, I've had a good track record, I guess, in the past couple of weeks. And I think Christian is right that it's a bull market. It's officially a bull market and retail is back. Yeah, retail is back. Remember Wall Street Bets, I think it was, or Kramer posted that dude that said, hey, I bought a 6-month treasury bill that pays 5%, but I only got 2.5%. What's the deal? Is the government ripping me off? That tells me when people are posting shit like that, retail's back. People are listening to them. Control K. Cam, you got DraftKings under 30. Kudos. Kudos. And Scott, yeah, I think that's a huge deal for Rivian. It doesn't put them in the realm of Tesla because they still have a problem producing those vehicles. They still are on the hook for, I think, a couple 100,000 vehicles to Amazon. So they'll continue to build them. It just means that I think Amazon still gets first right to delivery. But if Amazon doesn't want the truck right now, they can say to Rivian, go and sell it to somebody else. So I don't think it changes the production line or anything like that. It does allow Amazon to not buy them as quickly as they want it. Even though I think it's a huge, everybody that I see on YouTube that puts, the Amazon employees that they got the Rivian, they're all fighting for the Rivian vans. So I love that Bob story, by the way, Christian. Okay. I am out of here, guys.